Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We have a lot to talk about as the weekly candle close. However, should have a lackluster sideways behavior because the stock market is closed tomorrow. So that's going to leave a little kind of, it's not going to be that amazing of a night. Let's break down Bitcoin. Let's have our way with it. Let's get the lemon into the water. I don't care how late or how early it is. You can always cleanse. It's actually even good for a night's sleep because it helps decalcify. You will pee a little bit at night, maybe on 2 hours before bed. So right when you pee, then you go to bed, right? But I'm putting the lemon into the water, as you can see here, getting it in. Doing what I love to do, taking a big sip. That's amazing. And get your crypto magazine. I'm now not in the latest one, but check this out. I mean, if you were able to get this is in Barnes & Noble's 19 countries around the world and more, 7-Eleven, you name it, it was all over the place. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Follow me on Twitter. We're on our way to 10,000 followers. We're like 91 away. We're so close. And I just put a poll out. What do you think will be the Bitcoin high in 2025? 150K, 80K, 50K, above 75K, or I am out. You know what I mean? I had to put that in there just to see how many people might just want to give up if we don't get to 75,000. So jump on it today. If you can jump into the poll, I would greatly appreciate it. Kind of gives us an idea of what's happening with the lifers, what we all think, and, gives a little idea of what we're seeing in the markets. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You're with the Crypto Lifer. You guys and girls, all the lifers, ladies and gentlemen, I am the lifer. Together we make the greatest show in all of crypto every single day. We did 2022. We can now say we did it every single day. Not one day was missed in 2022. There was one day that was close, very close, but I still streamed for about 10 or 20 minutes when they cut off my internet, and ended up streaming at another show too and getting it busy, so I was all over the internet. But we made it every single day of the year. Not one day did I not stream, and you can go through it and check it every single day from January 1st, and we started this February of 2021. And so we basically did all of 2021. We started ready to go in 2022, and I was ready with a plan. I was already, I had already insulated myself to tackle 2022, and we nailed it. We absolutely tackled it. Can we handle? See, 2022 was such a monstrous year of my life. I'm like, how can I top 2022 and 2023? But I just got to believe that each and every one of us have something great coming our way for the rest of the year. And I close my eyes because I'm visualizing it. I'm seeing it into the future, But remember, remain in the present moment. Take care of what you see now. All right, I see a little bit of Litecoin. Talk about Litecoin having a bit of a pump. Came back down. Bitcoin's lackluster. However, the 1 hour could push back to the upside here for Litecoin. Slightly interesting. Let's break down what I see happening for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the 1 hour is pushing to the downside. And I do see Bitcoin dumping to the downside. I called this earlier today. If you're in my trading group, all right, I keep you up to date on Bitcoin throughout the day, no matter what's happening, all right? Even if it's just a slight idea. And here at 5:30 earlier today, you can let me actually hit the link here. But this yellow line suggests the stochastics are going to roll us over, and Bitcoin's going to roll over to the downside, at least to the bottom trend line, breaking this point of control. All right, you're at a point of control. Resistance, everybody. Resistance came up, made an M pattern, dropped. Previous high here fell down. Previous high here fell down. The bulls cannot make a high above the previous high to the left. That is bearish. Bearishness all around everyone. Bearishness. This is a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. This is resistance at a point of control. These things coupled together are a bearish confluence. So it was likely we were going to see a drop to the downside. So this is why I pointed out here, look, we're going to drop down. We're going to drop down. This is me telling you we're likely to drop to the downside. All right. Who picked up on the idea there and was able to short the market, with their own education, but maybe they had something like that. Looked at my chart. We looked at our charts together. We came up with some confluence. The move we touch the resistance, the more likely we are to break it. No, the more likely the more you keep hitting resistance and not getting above it, the more likely that's going to roll over price action. You know what I mean? It's like if you keep hitting support, and, eventually it breaks if you keep testing it. You want to test it once, test it twice, 3 times, and you're gone. You test it 5 or 6 times, it's likely you're just going to drop. You're not getting momentum. To me, it's all about momentum. I'm a momentum trader. I study momentum, and I look at the probabilities, how much we've had per momentum in the last time, and I look at the support and resistance. And so it was clear to me Bitcoin was going to dump here. It was struggling. All day we had this chance to boom on the 1 hour. So I was like, okay, the 1 hour is going to get our move. Once it moves up, let's see how and I said it's likely lackluster, and it begins to kind of fall off there. And if it does, I said that would be a perfect place to short the point of control. Right? I went over this morning. I made an in-depth video to my trading group this morning, breaking down what I saw happening in the market. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you. Jump on into that poll. 48 votes now. Jumping on in. Let's see what people are saying. Thank you, whoever messaged me. I appreciate that. Let me just double check. Lifer friend had it though. Okay. Wonder how I saw it different. It's so weird. See, I have his name above your name. It's weird. You don't. Isn't that weird? Or maybe you did it earlier. See, I have his name above your name. He has a screenshot the other way around. How weird is this? He has a screenshot with his name there and this name below, and then CNC Ireland. But I have him, and then CNC Ireland. And that would be the same one, because then Jamie is there. How weird is that? So I just got to go what I see, man. You know? No nitpicking. You know, I do see you above him there, but here I just see it here. So I just... yeah. Apologize. First two competitions are always like this in a live chat box. Interesting. I've never seen that happen before. I voted 80K in the bowl because I saw Steve Courtney's video about the math on Bitcoin tops. Okay. I was like, bro, create new rules for possible next year. Funny, man. The Matrix, LOL. So anyway, I see Bitcoin dumping to the downside on the 1 hour, coming on down. However, it may just kind of stay here and go sideways. Likely, let's see our 4 hour time frame. Our 4 hour wants to dump, and that's a bearish engulfer. And we had a shoulder, head and shoulder that really didn't play out. So when you had a bullish pattern that didn't play out, you get the bearish engulfer. You're starting to build a picture, and you keep making lower highs. You're building a bearish picture. It is what it is. Okay. So we're likely for the 4 hour to roll over and for us to dump to this pattern to at least double bottom here at 16,003. And I'm looking at 16,002. And then I'm looking here at the bottom of this circled area at about 16,000. So I am bearish. Likely we wake up tomorrow either sideways or to the downside. For Bitcoin, you're below the 200 SMA on the 4 hour time frame. Bearish. You've had a bearish cross right there, which is a death cross on the 50 crossing the 200. You're below the 50. You're playing with the 200 SMA, the 21, which you can, once you hit it, you could dump again from. And you're in a bearish pattern, a bear flag, in my humble opinion. We've taken the bear flag, the length of the bear pole, and that brings you all the way down here to this level at 16,269. It's highly likely we break all the way down to about 15,999. So that's what I'm looking at. I am bearish until the bears show me something, the bulls show me something different. And I've been saying this. Now I'm a broken record. I said it this morning, the day before, over and over again. So if anyone wants to call it out, I am Le Beariance, Le Bear Man. And I like even just putting that. I'll take away this. I see us breaking down. Ponce de Leon. So I see us breaking down here. Possibly do we get a bounce? Anything could happen. We could bounce, and triple bounce here at 16,003. But I do see some downside. Now, we could easily get short squeezed to the upside. Anything could happen. We'll take a look at the liquidity on BOOKMAP and break it down to see what's happening. We'll see. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. Shout out to the chat. How we doing in the chat? What's your favorite soccer team in the chat? Let me know. What is your favorite soccer team? Are you an Arsenal? Man City? Where do you watch soccer? Let me know. Favorite soccer team? Just asking, seeing if crypto and soccer go together. I'm just taking taking a quick shot at it. Ooh, BOOKMAP's running smooth tonight. Ooh, Chivas de Guadalajara. Ooh, Arsenal fan, always been. Okay, Liverpool, the Ladybugs. You're so funny. Shout out to Gino Bombino. I love you, Gino. You're so funny. Wasn't that a Rodney Dangerfield movie, remember? Hey, I get no respect. Hey, shout out to Justin Cashmore in the game. BR, my man. Manchester United. The Blue Guys. In my football table. You're funny. Yes. Wow. Coming at you hard, too. All right, let's take a look at Bookmap and check. And take a look at the liquidity. And you know, we've made a bookcap cam for you now. We've upgraded. We've stepped it up so that you can see the Bookmap cam. Interesting, and that's weird. That's a bit old. Oh yeah, no, okay, that isn't a bit old. That's perfectly right. Okay, and Tommy, can we roll to the Bookmap cam? Thank you so much, brother. So when we take a look at the liquidity here coming in on Bookmap, I like to shrink in, zoom out, and see what's happening. We're pretty flat, like I said. And the stock market's closed. You're not getting the indications from the S&P 500. You're not getting the dollar index tripping up. You know, you're getting this tightness. So it's just definitely something we want to watch out for, just sideways behavior. And sideways, to me, when you're not getting a lot of moves to the upside, is bearish, right? When you keep dumping and you're consolidating to the right, you are bearish. So I do see some bearish tones here. 16,560. We're kind of sitting level, and I don't see anything really getting liquidated up. I don't see anything getting liquidated down. If anything, I do see more liquidity down at 16,500, if anything. So more pull to the downside if I had to. But again, sideways behavior is what Bookmap is saying. If you like what you're seeing here, this is data on Bookmap. It's showing you where the liquidity lies. Like, that's like, if you zoom in here, if you want to understand what's going on, a big green ball is a buy. You know, a big red ball is a big sell. The bigger the ball, the bigger the buy or the sell. So that's a huge buy right there. That's why it was so big. That's a pretty decent sell. And you'll be able to see the liquidations too. Not happening right now, but if we were able to see someone get liquidated, we would be able to see the liquidations for sure. All right. And that's Bookmap, everyone. And so right here we're seeing, look, there's 1,135 Bitcoin attempting to be bought right there at about that 16,560 area, right? 540. And then again, you have 700, 500, 894 Bitcoin want to get bought at 16,500, 900 Bitcoin now. And so you can see a lot of big orders for Bitcoin sitting on OKX, Binance Futures, and Bybit on the exchange. You can see an amalgamated data of what's happening in the market. And if there's so many people trying to buy Bitcoin and there's so less people trying to sell, the price is likely to head down and head to the area of most liquidity. And this is how we use Bookmap in conjunction with what we're looking at. So like, this should begin to build and build more liquidity and more liquidity. We should see more stacks, 16.4, 16K. And if we start to see that, we are getting more grants. See how we're getting more of an area here? And this is a heat map. That's why we call it Bookmap. It's an order book with a heat map showing us what's happening on the liquidity order book, all right? And it coincides with what I'm seeing on the charts, with the rising wedge dropping to the downside here. So just, you know, things to think about. Just want to break it down for you so you can understand what I'm talking about here in the market and why I'm using Bookmap. Awesome tool. And let me show you something cool about it too. You can use it on a bunch of different assets. Like, I got it running on a Doge perp right here. If you want to trade a Doge perp, a Matic perp, anything you want, it can kind of show you where you're likely to lead to. Very similar to looking at, if you're looking at liquidity flow or order flow, similar to looking at order flow, similar to looking at volume. You know, volume caster showing you where people might be loading up unusual volume. So get tips and tricks like this in the trading group. I post charts like this all the time. So you're basically getting access to Bookmap almost every single day. Let me show you again real quick. I'm showing you the Doge perp right here, which is nice, right? So just something to think about, all right? And you can get links below my videos to Bookmap, and it's amazing. And you won't get a better discount than anywhere else, right? So I'm bearish on Bitcoin. I don't really need to say anything else. 4 hour likely to dump to the downside. We're getting overbought. And anything could happen. We could see a short squeeze, but I'm just not seeing it in the order book. And again, with the stock market closed tomorrow, I'm seeing sideways price action. So I say sideways or to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up tomorrow 16,005, 16,009. I woke up today. I said I wouldn't be surprised. I think I even wrote it down in the trading group. Let me see here. Euler banging on him, and we looked at that in a long time. Funny, waited on that. again, stock market is closed tomorrow. This will affect our volume and create sideways price action. It's at 11:30 this morning for Bitcoin. I would not be surprised if we close a daily candle around 16,005. Things will pick up as the holidays wind down and we get back to the regular volume, right? And we'll take a look at that daily candle close here. But so you can see what I see happening on Binance. That's my chart. I got a bigger chart here, right? And I got the smaller price action, and we know our levels to watch. We get back above the point of control. We get back above the 200 SMA. Things can change. But right now, I'm still bearish until the bulls can show us something different. And it's that simple to me. It's black or it's white when I'm looking at momentum and volume and support and resistance. So let's take a look at Coinbase here. This beat is a little funky. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into the Coinbase. Also, look, I see the shoulder, head and shoulder. It's also a bearish sign that we could drop all the way back down here to this area, 14,900. So I see some bearish tones. Also, if we lose this level, it's likely we're to drop right down here to 15,005. There's really not a lot of resistance. We lost a high volume node and a point of control. Both things tell me we're going to go to the low volume area. Bearishness. I see bearishness on big time frames. I see bearishness on small time frames. Not looking amazing. All right. 22-hour does want to get a bit of a bounce. All right. That's okay. Daily could roll over a little bit there. And to me, the 3-day is already rolling over. All right. We could delete everything else and take a look here. And so I showed you that head and shoulder pattern inside. There's just, it's not amazing. One thing attempting to save us was this bullish divergence, but honestly, even the stronger bullish divergence I saw in the bigger time frames has not been able to really hold too much weight, as much weight as I felt it should have. Again, it may ride us sideways and we could bowl out. What everyone wants and hopes for is a rounded bottom of some type here. Hopefully we're beginning it. We come in and we start to get out here, September, November of 2024. We head into the halving, we balance out 28,000, 22,000, and we begin to get busy. That's something that would be absolutely beautiful, and that's what I'm looking forward to as well. All right. Want to take a look at that daily candle close for you and just see where we close based on what I was saying earlier today. And so the daily candle was green. It opened at 16,531. The high was 16,621. The low was 16,690, and we closed at $16,611. All right. Yeah. And yeah, boom. Our next daily candle will close in 22 hours. And let's take a look tonight for Bitcoin and the weekly. For Bitcoin and the weekly. Let's get ready to rumble. For Bitcoin. Yeah. Thanks, babe. Appreciate that. I can't do it all. I just can't. I can't do it all. It gets the chat going, though, which is awesome. You know what I mean? And you can use your imagination, right? So, look, we're jumping on here, looking at Coinbase. What I was saying, if I go back in time, hope I can get back to where I was. I deleted work there. Oh, my God, I did so much in that little time. Okay, so, look, I was looking at this head and shoulder that could likely break to the downside here at 14,926. Don't worry, I'm going to get you right back up to speed as soon as possible. Keep that chat pumping and rumping. I appreciate that. And who wants to come and actually help me out in the studio? Move to Boston and get your butt in the studio and start working. I'm serious. Like, enough is enough. All right? Enough people texting my wife, get me going. We got to get a guy working the studio so I don't have to remember or forget what's going on the screen. All right? I blame myself. It's my fault. But, it's tireless work every single day. Shoulder, head, and shoulder to the downside. 14,900 is the bearish tone, too. So that's bearish to me. That's just something I'm looking at. We lost the point of control. You're just seeing a lot of bearishness. All right? And if we lose this level, we're likely to drop right back down to these two areas. So that's what we went over. That's really the only thing you missed. All right? We talked about the 4-hour being below the 200 SMA. All right? Talked about how the 22-hour could get a bit of a bounce here, but how the daily and even the 3-day looks like it's rolling over. See the 3-day kind of just, not looking amazing. So I got rid of all that work. We trashed it. And we're going to get ready for the weekly. All right. So this is Bitcoin and the weekly candle close.
Oh my God, I started sweating. Oof. Get patchy. I got a bit patchy in there. I get a bit patchy in the forehead there.
I wore this sweater the New Year's. My mom knit this sweater. It means that the ships are in. I believe this means like a sail, and this is like they're headed in. So the ships are in, and it's a Gaelic, like Irish sweater that my mom knit. It even has these sleeves where you can see the pattern changes here to there, then goes back in. Extremely amazing crochet. Even has beautiful, perfect, and she got every stitch perfectly right. Not one stitch is wrong. It's absolutely absurd. Even these two lines in here, like everything is done impeccably. So at the beginning of every year, I wear the sweater my mom made me. Thank you, Mom. God appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and may God bless each and every one of you here too. So let's take a look at the weekly candle close. We opened at $16,829.19, all the way right here. All right, things were okay. Our high was $16,967. Looked like we could maybe get to 17K, but it didn't happen. The low was $16,326.16. And we would crawl all the way back up to close at $16,611. All right, only to lose that level and begin to dump. Bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, as you compare it to this. We do see some wickage, right? Which is some buy pressure to the upside. We saw that there before, and it was just followed by a gnat, and that wick really takes the cake here. This sell-off wick on the weekly is really the issue. Like, it's a capitulation down. Like, we'd have to restructure that, and even after that, we can dump to the downside. You know, there may be some stops and some liquidity up there still waiting to be had, all right? So look, I mean, you've got a giant double bottom possibly forming on the weekly, but if you lose the weekly support at 16,000, we're headed very, very low. So let's take a look at what the weekly could provide, all right, on a mass scale here. And this is what we do here on the weekly candle, and we would have gone over other things too, but the markets won't be open tomorrow, so it kind of escapes some of our work. We don't have to be as diligent. It's like we get a night off. It's like, I analyze so much, you know, your brain eventually gets fried. You need a moment to take a deep breath and move on. Be like, So, I mean, we're kind of in a standstill. Even how we bounced here, there's really not a hard level of support or resistance. It's almost like screaming that we're likely to come back to 12K, or we're just making a standstill bottom here. That's just where people decided enough is enough. I'm going to pay for Bitcoin and the orders are too thick. We can't get through. Candles did close right here. We just wicked down. 16,000 is an area of extreme interest. We lose 16,000. We're headed back down to 12K. You can just see there's just nothing there to stop us from going back to 12,000. All right. So that's what I'm looking at. Shout out to Honda Man. Thank you, Lifer. Everything you taught me is paying off. Just took profits on my XRP short. Took 300% profits. Baby! Shout out to my man. Thank you so much for jumping on in and sending $19.99 to the Lifer. May God bless you and yours, man. Honda Man, thank you so much. Blessings on blessings. Formed an inverted head and shoulder on the 1 minute. What did? I have no idea what you're talking about. Next course date is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023 at 3 p.m. Yeah, if you want to take a course, if you want to learn what we're doing here, if this excites you, if you're like, man, this is cool. I want to be able to do what this guy's doing. I want to be able to find out what divergence is. I want to use the MACD. Jump on into class every Tuesday from 3 to 5:30. I can't wait to see you there every single Tuesday from 3 to 5:30. Can't wait to see you in the class. All right. Boom, shaboom, shabop, shebang. So there's the weekly candle. And what everyone's looking at too is this idea here. So we gave you a 12K, and you can see why 12K is so significant, while other people may be talking about 12K. And definitely a resistance point here. When you're a bit of a falling wedge, and you can come back down to the falling wedge, which again also has a bit of a 12K feel. Point of control sitting right there at 8,700. All right, so there's no reason why we can't go to 12K, capitulate to 9,000. Come back up, play some games, bounce, maybe capitulate again. All right, get above the zone, pop, come back down, pop. You know, and have a night, you know, we just need to slowly grind our way out of this bear market. There's going to be pumps along the way. Bear markets have nice pumps. Look at here. Huge pumps up, pump, pump. It doesn't mean it's all down just because you're in a bear market. It just means the overall trend is to the downside. That's all. Shorts are more likely to play out over time if you hold them than longs. That's all. You get into a short and you hold it, it's more likely to pay off in the long run. That's all what a bear market really is at the end of the day. And being below the 200 SMAs on multiple time frames. You know? The weekly's still below. You got to get back above it. But the moving averages are getting tighter and tighter. And this is the beginning of how things begin. You get the pump, the moving averages are super far apart. Then they start to collide, they stay together, we get a rounded bottom, and Bitcoin gets up on out of here, right? And you're just looking for these rounded bottoms. So, you know, I grab control and I grab that out, and I'm just, you know, I just want to see some type of rounded bottom here for Bitcoin. Same scenario. I can go to 12K. I can handle 8K. It's all good. I just want the market structure that I'm looking for in these bear markets to play on out. So we can zoom on up to the next move. Remember, what I love talking about is when I was live on my live stream back here. And if you were watching me, I don't know who here was watching me back then when I was drawing this pattern. And I was saying like, oh, well, Bitcoin's in this like bull pennant, right? And it's likely to break to the downside, to the upside here. And I was drawing this like over and over again. Once we got the breakout, I was like, wow, we finally break it out. I've been tracking this thing. Gave me a measured move all the way to about 30K. And I've been calling that when we were at 6,000, 7,000. I made these calls based on just regular technical analysis. And the thing was, at the time, everyone was wondering, would we ever get back to the all-time high? You know, and we were like struggling. And it was like, will we ever get back? You know, and now you X this out and you take a look at where you're at. And this is just a small bump of the road compared to where we are. And so I want you to realize is right here. So right now, this is all we have. And we're all like wondering, you know, this, my friends, one day will be a small bump in the road. Bitcoin 260K drops all the way down to 80 or 110K. You know what I mean? Bear market rips back up. This becomes the down, right? And you just got to really zoom out and begin to understand, take a deep breath and realize where you are. You are so early in this cycle. If you're willing to make good short-term gains, swing trading, and also make long-term holds. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but the things I'm doing, make long-term holds and, you know, put a good portion of my wealth in Bitcoin for the long term and watch it grow 5 to 10 years from now. Oh my God. Are you planning for 2032? I was tweeting that and I wasn't joking. Like, are you planning for 2032? Are you getting your ducks in a row? Right? What do you think will be the Bitcoin high in 2025? Looking ahead, 150K, 44% think so. 80K, 29% think so. 95 votes coming in, 50K, 89%, 18.9% think so. And above 75, right? Those are my lifers, man. Nobody's leaving. Sorry. Those are my lifers, man. Nobody's leaving. 7.4%, right? Shout out to everybody. Follow me here at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it. We are so close to 10,000 followers. Wanted to do it in 2022, but hey, you can't get everything you want. But if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need, right? You get what you need. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate you all for being here, all right? Does Richard Hart win? Does he pay to do that? Does he pay to trend? I don't know. Maybe not. Funny, I first met BitBoy in person at Sexy Fish. Wait, it's not what you think. I thought that was funny, you know. Anyway, a lot of people, 46,000 people see that. That's insane. 225 comments, 151 likes. Appreciate anyone that jumps on in and follows the kid on Twitter. Celtics at the Nuggets. Are they playing right now? First quarter in the books. Yep. 28-37. Ooh. Celtics losing to the Nuggets. And Nord. We talked about Nord. Had a beautiful gain of 24%. Look, tight moving averages, getting tight in the wedge. Stochastics moving up above a point of control. This had all the fixins. Right there, look at that point of control bounce and you're gone. Just something that I teach in the trading group. All right. And again, don't forget to take the class. $60 if you join the trading group today. $100 if you just want to jump on in, you know, without the trading group. But whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. So tonight will be a lackluster day. I wouldn't go chasing after tons of trades tonight. Me personally. I take it easy, you know. Spend one last night with my kids. Tomorrow they're going to be out of school again one more time. So Spend that last day with your family. 2-3 weeks from now, it's going to be trade. Everyone's going to be at work. Kids going to be at school. Everything's going to be back different. Just take advantage of these slow moments in the market while you can. I'm telling you. As a business owner, I'd like to tell everyone to trade. Join my trading group, jump on in. But I got to be honest. Like, there's some days where it's just time to take care of yourself. And these are the last few days, you know? It doesn't mean someone in my trading group turned $300 into $3,000 yesterday. So it doesn't mean you can't find opportunity in the market. I'm just saying it's a lot harder than normal. The volume's kind of, dried up a lot due to the holidays and the stock market being closed. Just, the offset night. So things are just a little different than normal. Thanks again for the $19.99. May God bless you, man. In a bear market, throwing it down. That's like throwing $100, man. May God bless you and yours. That's huge karma points for you. Honda, man. You're the best, man. God bless you. One lifer NFT. Gina, whenever you make one. Get that good time in with the goods. Yeah, they grow up so fast. They really do. My daughter's already 8 or 9 years old. Before you know it, she's going to be 20. I'm going to be like, what happened? Larry Parmalee. Hey, bro, I'm not trading right now, but still listen and still in the group because you are the best. Thanks, Sam. Shout out to Larry Parmalee, man. Larry, we love you. Thank you for jumping on in, man. May God bless you and yours. Thank you so much for the support. CNC Ireland, Bartholomew J. Smurfington. All my peoples, thank you for being here. Gina, taking over the chat with her blueness. Your blue crewness. That's what I mean. Not your blue. You're not blue. You're happy all the time. I'm just, you know what I mean. Gina taking over the crew with her emojis. Super chat, Sol. Everyone wants to see if Solana's going to keep dumping to the downside. What is happening to Solana? I believe it's just an easy short down to 5 beans, but you never know. You never know. Let's take a look here for Solana. And again, what I believe makes no sense. What I think, what I believe, what I feel are all emotions and thoughts. Don't mean a thing. So looked like it could bounce. It stayed high, did a little bit of a dip, did bounce up to this next area of resistance, but that was it. Couldn't get it past 1483 and would dump all the way back down to 781. And now it's forming a bit of a flag here, a bearish flag in my humble opinion. And like Bitcoin dumps is going to be easier for this to dump. It's below the 200 SMA on the 1 hour, way below on the 4 hour time frame. Could jump up one more time. I mean, it's indecision, but I see a bounce up, rejection, and I believe this will continue to the downside. Look at your bigger time frame, like your 3-day chart. Your beat to the ground suggests you will get a bounce. You do see some bullish divergence despite all the pain. Well, maybe there's just too many people selling this thing off. But even if it crawls back up, I see rejection back at 27 and continuation, but I don't see it even getting that high. I see consolidating in this flag and eventually just continuing to dump to the downside. I'm very bearish on Sol. I believe you're going to see more icky, sticky things coming out of the woodwork, and I think less and less people are going to want to have anything to do with Solana. It did have a coin that pumped 25K today called Boink. You know what I mean? Or Bonk, B-O-N-K, sorry. But, I mean, whatever. You know, it is what it is. So I hope Sol makes it, but I don't believe it will. I don't really care. I'm not invested in it. I think there's other projects that are less tainted. You know what I mean? Just less tainted. It's like you buying a car. Like, I look at investments like buying a car or something, you know, and there's 2 used cars. One's been through like 2 accidents, one never was. Like, which one do you want to take a shot on? You know what I mean? The tainted one, the one that's been beat. You may like it because you could never get that model before. You know, maybe there may be some reason you're trying to get down, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a better coin that's not as damaged. Damaged goods, like Solana to me is damaged goods at this point. It's a little beat, you know? It's like rotten eggs, man. It's no good. But again, I'm sorry if you're deep into Solana and you love it, and you're like, man, this guy's hating on my project. I'm telling you how I feel about it. I apologize. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, right? My truth isn't your truth. Solana could do amazing, right? How I feel about a project doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. So, One Earth is just continuing to consolidate, looking beautiful on that 22-hour and the daily, likely to make a bit of a move here, right? 4-hour even could flip, but it's staying above the trend line as long as it stays, and it could dump on you in 2 seconds. But One Earth is beginning to show me signs of beautiful bullish consolidation. 154% for One Earth. Can we get the moves? If anything could move, it's 1 Earth. However, there's just lack of volume. That's why today probably would have popped, but there's just nothing out there today. Everyone's with their family. Everyone's off the charts. The only people are us hardcore crazy traders, degens out here. Like, this is my life, right? I do this every single day. This is what I do for a living. So I'm in here to the end, you know. 1 Earth looking absolutely beautiful on the 4-hour time frame, consolidating. Tight moving averages with the 200 below the below and parallel to the bottom trend line. So how does you mean to go on, Lifer? Doesn't it take Lifer doesn't take a day off, baby. Did he say D-Gens? I'm a D-Gen. Oh, yeah. The real good old days for me were in the college. I would get a zip of mid. Oh, my God, man. A zip of mid. Jesus. 23 is the year of the D-Gen. Shout out to my man Bartholomew J. Smurfington. So many content creators keep talking about ALGO, Quant, and HBAR. Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're going to be the ISO 220 coins. You know, I like ALGO. I hold the bag, and it's the lowest it's been. Like, if you believe in it long term, and I cannot believe they banged it down to 17, but it could go lower. Look at the 4-hour time frame. It's in a bit of a bag here. Like, it's in a baggy flag. I mean, that's a rising wedge, right? Like, I would short that. Rising wedge looks like it's going to drop to the downside. With the 4-hour pointing down, I mean, that looks dumpage to me. I would short ALGO, but again, you do whatever makes you happy. I'm glad we have the same dream, Sam. I plan to grind for the rest of my life, and also as a form of charity to as much as I can and help while I yet live. Yeah, baby. Do what you can for others on your way up. Doesn't mean you can't have doesn't mean you can't buy $1 million home. But while you're doing that, you know, tip the waitress 50%. Or every once in a while, just hand a $100 bill to someone who helped you out. You know, a guy pumps you gas at the service station, hand him a $50 bill. You know, he doesn't do that. He'll remember that for the rest of the day. Nobody does that. People barely give them $1. They're going to look at that, and it inspires them to believe that, you know what, there's good people out here and good things happen, you know. So, you know, once every couple of days or every, you know, things are going well for me and I'm doing my thing and, you know, I'm eating dinner or doing something. The waitress is super nice, or the person just, you know, especially when they're awesome and they do a great job. I'll throw a nice huge tip in there, or just something interesting so they'll remember that day forever, you know what I mean? Do it on the slide, just disappear, they'll never see you again. But it just, Lakochi, I'm 100% with it, man. And honestly, 2022 was a great year. Just because I was able to feel what it was like to help other people in ways I never thought imaginable. And, you know, money isn't everything, but money can help you make a change in other people's lives. Like, you really can. It can free up your time so you can give more people your time. It can free up your ideas. You can make more ideas. You can put forth ideas and see if they come. Like, if you have, say you have no money, you have an idea, you can't even find out if it works or not. But if you have money, you can put it out, find out the product actually stinks, but maybe tweak it and then come up with something amazing. And sometimes it's not even about tons of money, just enough to give you some time off of work, just enough to give you that space, just enough to break out of the 9 to 5. You know, everyone thinks getting rich is about making it all at once. It's not. It's about gaining a little bit here and there. Just a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But for me, it was just a little bit and a little bit. Every year I gained a little more knowledge or a little more financial understanding, or I made a better investment, or, you know, something happened each year that gave me a little more of a notch in my belt when it came to investing and getting into crypto or changing my life. So, and that's just kind of, you know, what it is. So ALGO looks like we could get a double bottom here. It fell out of the zone. I mean, this thing is dumping. That's when a rising wedge breaks to the downside. They drop nastily. I mean, that's what I'm seeing happening here for ALGO. Blue Crew Unite. Shout out to everybody here on the Blue Crew. 38,370 subscribers we end the year with, basically. And we started with about 17K, so we doubled up. You know, we went from 1,000 to 17,000 that year, though, 2021. So I thought we were going to 17X this year. I was like, oh, we'll easily 10X to 170,000 subs. You know what I mean? But it was a bear market. It was tough. But we still grinded. We doubled up. And we did what we had to do. Shout out to everybody who kicked it with me through 2022. Not easy year at all. At all. In any way, shape, or form. At all. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Super chats all clear. Thank you, Sam. Killed it. Shout out to Gina Bombina. Send in your last remaining super chats. I'm jumping out for the night. Gonna make sweet, sweet Jamaican bread with my wife. What do you mean? What? I'm making sweet, sweet Jamaican bread. What? You don't make sweet Jamaican bread with your wife? I do it all the time. But what a learning year 2022 was. Oh my gosh. Are you going to KYC Picoin? Probably. I mean, why not, I guess. I'll do anything for that money. I mean, you never know. Your chat is missing part. You're funny. So stoked I joined the trading group in November. God bless you, Jamie, Jesse Namsel. Thank you so much for jumping on in, man. She going to cook your oxtail, eh? I guess so. Jamaican bread is delicious. At least Smurf and I are hitting our 2-year anniversary with you. That's crazy, man. Kava bleeding hard. Rug pull, maybe. LTC Matic 2023. Yeah, just be careful holding altcoins. Bitcoin dominance gives you a big idea of what's happening with altcoins. Be careful with altcoins. Let me show you why. Let's take a look at altcoins on like a bigger scale here. When altcoins had their rally in 2017, right? We had this beautiful drop for Bitcoin, but once we hit this level, right, altcoins began to bleed out. So as Bitcoin dominance could get a move back up here, you could see altcoins getting hit hard. And until we get back to this level of around, 66 or even like 50 or even just 48 area here, this would be an area where altcoins may begin to be better to accumulate. So I've been watching Bitcoin dominance closely to understand when I would like to load more up on altcoins. And I'm going to teach you that. Stay with me every single day. We're going to keep it going. Brazilian bread, my man, you're funny. Could always go schlong with the alts, short long. Litecoin has been outperforming BTC. Yeah, but not by that much, man. Not by that much. Because we got the LTC pair here, and we've been tracking it. It's okay. Not like anything to write home about. 10%. Well, Litecoin is a halvening coming up. It tends to pump before it's halvening. So I could see Litecoin continuing to pump up to about, I don't know, it could even go to 80. Where is it at right now? Let me see LTC. Yeah, I could see it pump up to 80. Double bottom. It's even in this cup and handle. Could it get up here to 9600? I could see that. Make a nice 50% gain. Probably lackluster after that, but I can see a pump here coming into the halving for Litecoin. There is some speculation and some talk for Litecoin. Litecoin's been doing some damage. Little time mining, $100 in 2023. Hey, but right after that, it will get sold off quickly. So it'll probably dump right back to 50, 70, 60 areas. So I don't think it's going to be sustainable, but it could be, something worth swing trading around, So that's interesting. And we end with some news, and we'll jump on out here for the night. Keep it going. If you have anything to talk about, let me know. You have anything to talk about, let me know. Let me know. All right. And I'll be right back with the news. We love you. We appreciate you. And we tirelessly work for your entertainment, love, and support. Thank you. Okay, jumping on into the news today, we have 5 trends in DeFi for 2023, from a push for real-world asset adoption to a continued focus on ZK rollups. Here's what you may be able to expect in the DeFi space in 2023. ZK rollups. You can roll up a bunch of transactions into one transaction, saving space on the blockchain, enabling faster transaction speed. All right, that's the trilemma. Security, scalability, and how fast can you scale? How safe can it be, right? And how many transactions can you have on the blockchain, right? More transactions, okay, then the less safe you can be because you have to give up a little bit of security. So it's speed, safety, right? And you're trying to balance all these things out in the blockchain, all right? Many centralized companies have fallen from grace this past year, but the DeFi ecosystem remains intact. It is true. And I believe this is pushing DeFi into the limelight, push towards real-world assets. The real-world assets, RWA, have also helped unlock large amounts of liquidity and utility by moving on chain. Greater stablecoin adoption. Tied closely with real-world assets are stablecoins. Desperate bear market conditions, stablecoins such as Circle's USDC and Maker's DAI continue to be some of the top cryptocurrencies by market. Watch a video by Ben. He's talking about how Circle has some creepy plans. Let's get ahead of that so we can see what they're doing. Knowledge is power. Focus on layer 2 scaling and the ZK technology, the Ethereum merge. Zero knowledge, ZK technology, and layer 2s will continue to be a focus, right? So ZK rollups, ZK Tube is a coin. There's a bunch of other coins that all have ZK probabilities and basics. This is going to be a word you want to keep talking about. Metaverse was a hot coin, This is something in WASM, WebAssembly too, security and compliance, and DAO growth. So just things to think about. What you want to take away from this mainly is ZK Proof is a digital verification method that significantly improves scalability and performance for blockchain networks. The end result would be an improved ecosystem that can reliably handle a large amount of transactions in a shorter amount of time. Dogecoin falls 30% following rumors of a proof-of-stake transition. Wow, the popular meme coin has taken a hit from its value closing the day as Dogecoin has fallen 13%. If it goes to proof-of-stake, that's kind of whack. More info for your influencers, even if they have millions of views and followers, even if they speak with authority, do not actually have the inside scoop on what's going on with Dogecoin. Just because one says a validation method is changing doesn't mean it is. So a Dogecoin principal engineer urged the community against listening to influencers. Women stated to many discussing the potential move do not actually have the inside scoop. I hope Doge stays to proof of work. That's kind of my that's what I like. UK enforces crypto tax break for foreigners using local brokers. The measure now in fact is part of government's plan to turn the country into a crypto hub. The UK is enforcing a tax exemption for foreign investors purchasing crypto through local investment managers or brokers. The tax break announced in December is part of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's plans to turn the UK into a crypto hub. I hope that incites people to get going. Shout out to Frankie G. Happy New Year, Sam. Much blessings to you and your family. Can you check HBAR, please? Thank you. Shout out to the $5 from Frankie G. But you definitely interrupted the news. No, I'm just messing around. And that ends the end of the news segment. Thank you for that quick news segment. We just want to kind of get you up and running. And remember, ZK Tubes, something definitely to stay privy of. Definitely to keep yourself privy of what that information is, what's going on, because that can bank you. Little keywords for me and just reading white papers and connecting the dots have really, really, really changed my life. And so you could, just putting that out there. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Find your own special sauce, but these are things that I'm looking at. So look, there's a chance you could have gotten a move to the upside here, but you lost this resistance and you dropped like sauce all the way to 37 cents. All right. Let me delete my old work. Let's take a look at it. That trade did not play out. Or just even the projection of a thought. I never really put an HBAR trade out, though. You can ask everyone in my trading group. Probably just did a super chat on it one day and looked at it. I mean, the daily suggests you can break on out, but you're just following Bitcoin. Everyone keeps asking about their altcoins, and they don't realize that they're just following Bitcoin. If Bitcoin takes another dump to the downside, your altcoin is taking a dump to the downside. If Bitcoin goes sideways, there's a chance your altcoin falters, or stays somewhat sideways. Your 3-day chart, your daily are pretty beat. 5-day chart, right? Weekly, not even enough, but they're all pretty oversold. Daily beat to the ground, right? 4-hour, however, is not, and you could see more downside. And that's why I watch the 4-hour time frame. It kind of leads me to what's happening. So I would keep this in a bit of a flag here. If it stays in the flag, yes, it could bounce on out, but it could continue to dump too. So I'm bearish until the 4-hour resets, see what happens. And honestly, I don't like HBAR personally as a project. I believe it's a centralized project that's connected to a guy that started Swirls, who was connected to, you'll find out if you want. I don't even want to say it. You can find your own research, but it's connected to like some, 3-lettered government agencies, and it's pretty deep going. And I don't know, man. I believe it's a trap coin, in my humble opinion, for the banks. But again, you do whatever makes you happy, right? But I'm not a fan of HBAR. And I've actually met Charles Hockinson. I raised my hand and asked about HBAR at a summit 2019. And he just completely told me, get away from that coin. It's disgusting. So, that was Charles's idea. And I'm a pretty good fan of Cardano. So if I'm a fan of Cardano, I honestly can't be a fan of HBAR in a way.
It's kind of some inside knowledge that I got from Charles, though. So it's up to you, man. You take that as a grain of salt. You take that alpha however you want it. I see HBAR could drop. You know, I mean, how further, though? Go to zero? I mean, that measure move is lower than zero. So at one point, it does have to find its bottom. Bitcoin has to eventually bottom out. We could bottom out at a penny, 2 pennies, right? If you believe in the project, these would be absolutely great bear market buys. 2023 is going to be the place to build the portfolio, to begin to research, to really begin to see how the market's playing out and see how the ecosystem and the structures are playing out. See, I've seen this before, so I'm going to wait for the pieces to fall into place. That's why a trading group is so much, beneficial. There's no way you're going to know how to balance it or go through it the way I know how, because I've been doing it now. Two different markets. I've done it 2 different times. I can do it again. And I can coach you, and you'll learn so much more with our team than you will on your own. You'll be on your own. There's so many things you'll learn on your own, but we'll be able to guide you and balance you through it. It's highly worth the money. Just like going to college, or just like going into trade school. You can go out there and just try to you can go to a trade school and learn how to be an electrician, or you could just mess with wires by yourself. But how far would you get? Sit with someone that's been doing it for years. They'll give you their knowledge, and boom. I mean, you're going to download that and begin to prepare for the next move. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Remember, crypto is life. I am bearish on Bitcoin. Looks like it's going to get a bit of a bounce and stay tight in this channel. So yeah, it's likely to go sideways for the rest of the night. Even all day tomorrow, I could go sideways. But eventually that 4 hour looks like it's going to come to roost, and the 1 hour is going to boom, and the 1 hour is going to kind of line up with it. So I do see more downside than upside. But again, if the bulls can out of nowhere get above this area, 16,008, 17K, I'll begin to change my tune. But the bulls are going to have to get above these previous highs. And so far, we're not getting daily or 4 hour candles closing above those zones. So it's more likely we break to the downside. I'm more bearish than bullish, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful first night of 2023. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for coming on in. Thank you for being a lifer. I love you all for supporting me, for being here. Words can never express my true gratitude to each and every one of you. May God bless my mother for making this beautiful sweater. Thank you for everyone that jumped on in tonight. I appreciate you all. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to hit 2023 as hard as we hit 2022. Expect guests, expect interviews, expect more coming your way. Stay tuned for more, everyone. Thank you so much. I love you all. Love is the strongest frequency. You can do anything you put your mind to with love. Get rid of the fear. Fake emotions acting real will do nothing for you. Live in love. Live in the present moment right now. Don't worry about the future too much. Don't worry about the past. You have the present moment right now. Don't steal the probability of what you can create now by focusing on time frames that do not exist. When everyone says, oh man, it hurts, I did that. It's like, you can't be hurt by the past or the present because they don't exist. Only the memory of them exists. So the past and the present do not exist. They just don't exist. You think they do. Only the present moment does. I love you all. You can, you will, you are the best. I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. Thank you for this beautiful weekly candle close. And thank you for being there last night. Thank you, everyone. 2023, baby. We're going to change our lives. We're going to do it again like we did in 2022. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you all on the next live stream.